today. He's very unselfish also.
Very.
Comes in with that great reputation as a scorer. There he is popping a long three. But I think he's very much a team-first guy. And, I mean, he'll get his points, he'll get his opportunities, but it doesn't look like he's forcing anything.
He's very unselfish. I think that was probably what I was most impressed with, because I heard about his scoring when I was playing against him, so I wanted to see it up close and personal. But his ability to come off a ball screen and hit the guy in the corner, picking on the tag, making the right read consistently every single time down the court, that's when I knew he was a pro. I knew he was a pro because I knew he could score, but when he can consistently make the right read, play after play, I said, yep, you have a great future ahead of you. Just keep doing what you're doing, and he's a great, great young man. Not an arrogant guy, to be so highly touted, to have all the followers on Instagram and everywhere. He's a very humble, down-to-earth kid, and I know his father can hoop. His father dropped 40 on the Thunder in the preseason. His father can still get buckets. If you ask his father, that's a perfect example of what he does right there. He can really pass, see the floor. But if you ask his father says that he's actually better than him. They play one-on-one. Wow. He will beat Keontae, and he is so serious when he says that. But he comes from a great family, a great kid, great young man, and he has a very bright future ahead of him.
Pretty assist last time down the floor by the Bears to get to 53. There's the lob for Thamba, tipped away, out of bounds, and will stay with Baylor with 2.5 minutes on the clock.
The only thing with his passing that I will say is, a lot of times when you're dealing with freshmen, Jared Butler kind of ran into this problem a little bit. They always try to hit the home run pass instead of keeping it simple. When Keontae keeps it simple, when Jared Butler kept it simple, he was a great passer. Sometimes you try to hit the home run pass, try to go for the one that woes the crowd. Yeah. That's when the turnovers come. The turnovers start piling up. So the more simple he can keep it, the better of a passer he can become, which makes him ultimately a better player and a better playmaker.
Foul on the inbounds. Flo Thamba was run over. So again, back to the free throw line here with 2.5 minutes on the clock, first half. These kids are saying, wow, they sure go to the line a lot. And they have in the first half.
They have been to the line a whole lot.
Baylor is 14 of 19 shooting free throws. Mississippi Valley State is 9 of 13. 32 combined free throws so far, with a couple coming here. 53-16. King wants it like first game of the year. Really, no matter who your opponent is, can't you do some things and see some things and learn some things about your team playing against another opponent that you can't get in practice?
Yeah, a lot of times you play these games, and for the past 2-3 months, that's a great finish right there, Langston Love. That's great to see, because with the leg brace, with the injury, his ability to go through contact, that's really impressive. It's a good sign for Baylor. But for the past 3 months, you've been playing against the same guys every single day. You're really tired of each other. I mean, you know each other's tendencies. You know what you're going to do. You really have no motivation to go to practice. So now you're amped up. You always have those pregame jitters. So it teaches you a lot right now, but also you have to realize you have to settle in. It's just the first game. You can't get too high right now no matter how much you win. You can't get too low if it's a close game. As a coach, you have to be able to understand that this is just the first one. And you're going to build. This is the ground. This is the basement. You're going to build and continuously get better. So you really can't. You can take this game seriously, but not too seriously, I guess.
Yeah. No, but you can work on some things. You can see some things. You can work on combinations.
Try to figure out lineups. Try to figure out who plays well together, who does well. Coach Drew is very big in analytics. He's going to see which lineups score the most points, which lineups are the best defensively. He's very big when it comes to numbers. He even charts everything in practice.
Josh Ojanwuna is back on for the Bears. 55-18 is the score. Couple of free throws by Walker from Mississippi Valley State. Flagler, nice. How about that? Just kind of loops the pass underneath for an easy bucket for Josh Ojanwuna, his first points in a Baylor uniform. So we've seen him score for the first time. We saw Langston Love score his first Baylor points the previous trip down the floor. That's fun to see. Three right corner. That one is good by Terry Collins. Up the floor to George. In a hurry, in traffic, handles the ball well. Love drives in. Banker, no. Got his own miss, put it up. And a foul.
That's really great to see right there. I mean, Langston Love earlier had a play where he drew the contact, finished the bucket. This is a great pass right here. Great finish. Really great dime. Great aware play from Adam Flagler. But for Langston Love, a lot of times when you see guys with this type of knee brace, they're super hesitant. They're still favoring it. They aren't 100% comfortable because of the injury, because of what happened. To see him drive to the cup like that and his second bounce, be able to rise up real quick, get the foul. Two great signs right there from Baylor. That shows that he's getting comfortable, getting back in his groove.
Yeah, and he is just over a year out from the knee surgery. So, you know, to me, that's really quick to get him back on and contributing like he is.
Yeah, and the more comfortable he gets, that adds another guard to Baylor, which makes this team, their backcourt even more phenomenal.
Another turnover by Mississippi Valley State. Deontay George going to be called for a charge there. 14 turnovers by the Delta Devils. There's a turn that into 23 points here in the first half. Second personal on George with 31.8 seconds to go in the half. A little over a second difference in the two clocks. Mississippi Valley State brings it up. There's played a lot of players in the first half. Done really good things offensively with 59 points on the board. Really good defensively as well. That'll be a foul on John Wuna, his second. And we've seen a lot of free throws.
A little too many free throws.
Hey, so what do you think? It's an 11 a.m. game, Central Time, opening day of college basketball season. There's all these teams that are out there that are gearing up to play probably tonight.
Yeah.
You think guys like Paul Mills and Sam Patterson and maybe Jerome Tang and those guys are out there maybe tuned in to us to get that first taste of college basketball?
Yeah, for sure. I think this might be the first game of the season.
I think it is. Yeah.
So all of those guys are definitely tuned in. There's a lot of basketball fans tuned into this game just because Baylor is one of the best teams in the country. Baylor has a legitimate shot to win a national championship. So I think this is definitely a game to tune in. And if, you know, all those people you just named, if they're tuned in, much love, man.
That's right.
They've contributed a lot to this Baylor program.
Banners hanging in the Farrell Center because of their contributions to Baylor basketball. Flagler, the drive, got hit, but laid it in. That's really good body control at the buzzer to get the bucket that gets Baylor to 61 points in the first half. Dominating first half by the Bears. They lead by 40 at the intermission. Flagler, the bucket to end it, 61-21. Baylor up at the half. Wow.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
Hey, Peloton, step into your power. Let's go.
You didn't come to work out. You came to outwork. Let's get it.
Yo. Boom. Come on, you got this. Everyday man's on the
Hey,
block.
no challenge, no change.
The ting goes. Let's go.
Try Peloton risk-free with a 30-day home trial. Terms apply.
My dad was a hard worker. He used to do side jobs, installing windows, charging something like $100 a window when other guys were charging $400 or $500. He just didn't want to do that. He was proud of the price he was charging. My dad instilled in me, always put the people before the money. Be proud of offering a good product at a fair price. I think he'd be extremely proud of me. Yeah.
The spirit of Wakanda forever, what it means to me is that you're not alone. You're always with your loved ones. You know, wherever I go, that I have, you know, my family there with me, supporting me, guiding me into the right path.
It's family, it's home. It's such a celebration of heritage, a very united cultural expression.
Wakanda forever.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, rated PG-13.
Halftime in the Farrell Center, the season opener. Fifth-ranked Baylor leads Mississippi Valley State 61-21 at the half. Here are some of the numbers that add up to that 40-point halftime lead. 19 field goals for the Bears to only 4 for the Delta Devils. But look, 14 assists. So 14 assists on 19 made buckets by Baylor in the first half. Rebounds heavily favoring Baylor, 27-10. Three-point shooting, the Bears missed their first 7 today. So that means they hit 7 of their next 9, including 5 in a row. So they're 7 of 16 from beyond the arc, and points in the paint heavily favors Baylor 22-2. Dominating performance in the first half, Baylor shooting 56%, holding Mississippi Valley to 19%. A really good defensive first half by the Bears, and the offensive numbers speak for themselves as well. So a very solid first half by Baylor. Adam Flagler leads the way, scoring with 12. Jalen Bridges, his first game in a Baylor uniform, with 11, and Dale Bonner has 10, the 3 Baylor players in double-figure scoring. Terry Collins leads Mississippi Valley State with 8 points in the first half. 61-21, our halftime score on the future Bears game here in the Farrell Center. 6,000 elementary school kids are guests here in the Farrell Center for this first game of the college basketball season all over the country. We'll take a break. Back with more in a moment. Bears up big at the half.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
I remember when I first started flying and we would experience turbulence, I would watch the flight attendants. If they're not nervous, then I'm not going to be nervous. Financially, I'm the flight attendant in that situation. The relief that comes over people once they know they've got a guide to help them through, I definitely feel privileged to be in that position.
The spirit of Wakanda forever, what it means to me is that you're not alone. You're always with your loved ones. You know, wherever I go, that I have, you know, my family there with me, supporting me, guiding me into the right path.
It's family, it's home. It's such a celebration of heritage, a very united cultural expression.
Wakanda forever.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, rated PG-13.
Back with us inside the Farrell Center, the school kids here, everyone here getting a lesson in the Baylor mascots, the live mascots. Dakota Farquhar Cadell doing a great job telling some of the history and talking about the Baylor mascot lady. Certainly we miss Joy, who passed away recently. John Morris, King McClure, courtside in the Farrell Center. And quite a first half, King, by the Bears. Really, any way you slice it, by any measurement, really solid first half.
They took care of business. They did what they were supposed to do. We talked about it during the break. A lot of times you get in these games, you let the team stick around, and all of a sudden you're only up by 6 in the first half. And in the locker room, the coach is going in on you. Baylor didn't do that. They put the team away. They took care of business.
How about Jalen Bridges, his first game in a Baylor uniform? His first half was really impressive.
Jalen Bridges was extremely impressive, but what do you expect from a guy who played for Bob Huggins? This guy can play defense, extremely athletic, super versatile on the defensive side, and he can really step out and shoot the three. He was a great player at West Virginia. I think he'll be an even better player here at Baylor. Super versatile, super long, impacts winning. And that's the biggest thing. He said he didn't win in West Virginia, but he wants to win now. Another newcomer we have is Keontae George. Everybody knows the name. Can really pass, can really see the floor. His body on the defensive side. The most impressive play in the first half. His ability to stay in front of the ball, get the steal, get the block, slides over, takes the charge. Really impressive. His buy-in on the defensive side has been key for his advancement in the Baylor Bears, in the Baylor uniform.
And we know he can score. He only had 3 points in the first half, but he had 5 rebounds and 7 assists. He leads all guards in assists in the first half. Keontae George in his Baylor debut. Bears lead by 40 at halftime. Take a break. Back with more in just a moment. 61-21, Bears lead at the intermission.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
From the studio that brought you Big Hero 6.
Our mission is dangerous.
What is this place? Discover the strange creatures of Strange World.
Don't touch that. Hey, stop pushing buttons.
Disney's Strange World, rated PG.
It's big, it's back, and it's still $6. Get the big box y'all love today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Formula One cars are like aircraft but upside down. They're creating lift, but they're creating lift in the opposite sense. We're pushing the tyres into the ground.
The only bit that actually touches the ground are the tyres, so as much downforce as you can have is just key to going faster through those phases.
Aerodynamics is the prime performance differentiator on a Formula One car. So that's also why we dedicate a lot of resource, a lot of focus on aerodynamics.
Look at downtown Waco. Beautiful day here in Central Texas. Bring you back inside the Farrell Center where the 5th-ranked Baylor Bears lead the Delta Devils of Mississippi Valley State 61-21 at the intermission. We're glad you're with us today. John Morris, King McClure on Future Bears Day. And King, we talked about that preseason poll in the Big 12. Baylor picked number 1 in the preseason poll for the 2nd time in the last 3 years. Kansas right on their heels, 4 first place votes. Texas got the other first place vote in 3rd. What do you think?
I think this is a very deep Big 12. Because honestly, I do not think Kansas State will finish last. Not just saying that because Coach Tang is a coach. I think they really have a group of guys who are going to compete and play hard. There's no way they finish last. When you look at this, TCU is a really good team. They returned every single player and got Rondell Walker from Oklahoma State. They're good. They have the preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, and Mike Miles, who I think is one of the better guards in this conference. Texas is going to be great. Tyrese Hunter, a guy who hit a huge stride at Iowa State last year. Really talented point guard. Him and Marcus Carr together. Add the freshman Dylan Mitchell. I like what they have. Kansas, I like the length of Kansas. When you look at Grady Dick, Kevin McCullough, Jalen Wilson at the 2, 3, and 4, they're super interchangeable, all 6'7", 6'8". I like what Kansas brings. I don't think offensively they're going to be as talented as we've seen in some of the Kansas teams before. But I think Baylor, they had it right. Baylor is probably the best team in the Big 12 this year. If I had to choose, I'm choosing Baylor to win the 12. So I do think they had it right. It should be a really deep year. We always say there's no easy games in the Big 12, but I think this year there's legit no easy games in the Big 12.
Well, and think about this time next year, you add Houston, you add BYU, you add UCF, you add Cincinnati. How about that? Bringing those 4 teams into the fold.
Yeah, adding Houston to this team, to the conference, with what they've done and what Kelvin Sampson's been able to do with that program, that's going to be a dogfight. Imagine the Baylor, Houston, or the Texas and Houston. Well, I guess Texas is leaving. The Baylor and Houston rivalry, that's going to be great. I can't wait for that. BYU, when you look at all 4 of those schools, they all have really good programs. You go to BYU, the gym is rocking. You go to Houston, they're a top 5 team in the country. You go to Cincinnati, that's a basketball-rich tradition. You go to Central Florida, same thing. They're all great basketball schools who have traditions.
Coach Scott Drew, Alvin Brooks III on the sideline. Baylor ranked as a ranked team. Look at that, under Scott Drew in 20 years, 311 weeks they have been ranked. Nearly half, or no, more than half of the weeks since he's been the Baylor head coach. Prior to that, prior to Scott Drew, 2 weeks ranked. 2 times ranked, and that was it. So to say that Scott Drew transformed this program is stating the obvious and putting it rather mildly. He has put Baylor basketball on the map, and it is exciting to see the things that are going on here in the Farrell Center again this season. Baylor women will be in action tonight, their season opener right here in the Farrell Center against Lamar, 7 o'clock Central Time tip-off tonight for Nikki Collin and Baylor women's basketball coming up tonight.
Talk about a great coach. Nikki Collin is a really good is honestly an understatement. She's a great coach. The way she has the girls moving on offense, the way the offense flows, she's done a great job. It's not easy to replace a legend like Kim Mulkey, but I feel like she's the woman for the job, and she's done a phenomenal job.
Coach Collins the one to do it, moving into her 2nd year. Baylor has won, on the women's side, 12 straight Big 12 championships. But did you notice picked 4th in the preseason poll this year?
Yeah, the Big 12 and women's game is deep. Texas is really good. Rory Harmon, the guard they have, can really play. And is a great defender. Really Iowa State, they've been good. The way they shoot the ball is phenomenal. But I think that they won't finish 4th. I feel like they'll be up there in the top. At least I'm rooting for them, too, at least.
There's a little give and go to Keontae George to begin the second half. And, oh, look, we're going back to the free throw line. 61 points by Baylor in the first half, ties for the 9th most in school history. 61 points. So here is George, the freshman. 3 points in the first half, but as we said, 5 rebounds and 7 assists.
And I've really been impressed. I've really been impressed with
I think he may have lost a contact. Got hit in the face.
That's a great finish. But J-Mo, I've really been impressed with the color of shoes that they have now.
You like that?
Yeah, I mean, Keontae wearing the tan color shoes. You see guys wearing green and yellow. I mean, I guess it's part of the colors, but the pink.
Flo's got pink going.
Flo Thomba's rocking. I mean,
right.
It used to be, we used to have a rule at Baylor where we all had to wear the same color shoes. Coach Tate used to make that a rule. Everybody has to be the same color shoes. So that the captains always used to have to pick the shoe color before the game. And now all of a sudden, they just have the ultimate freedom. I guess that's what happens when you win a championship, huh? when you
get a little more freedom.
Yeah, when you start winning, they do not care about small things like that.
Right.
But the coaches are always in uniform, though. I love the look. They've upgraded their look. They used to wear the suit and the ties.
Oh, yeah.
The Coach Drew's starting to rock the J's, rocking the ones. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the coaches.
Coaches are very much in uniform. They look sharp.
Yeah, they do. They look really clean. I like the quarter zips. That's a good look on Coach Drew.
2 free throws by George to begin the second half. 63-21 is the Baylor lead. 3 misses everything. Flo Thamba takes it out of the air. Well, I'll say this about the shoes matching. I mean, the term is uniform, right? They wear a uniform, and Bridges is down on that play. Slow to get up, but is getting up. And a charge at the other end. Check Jalen Bridges. He is a little slow. Some of the Baylor assistants come out to look for. I think Keontae lost a contact lens. Luke Simons out there, first-year director of basketball operations.
Oh,
man, he
got hit with the elbow right. He's a tough kid, though. Very, very tough young man, and I feel like if you play for Huggins, you have to be.
He's going to stay in the game, so Jalen Bridges appears to be all right. Bears have the ball back. Just underway, second half here in the Farrell Center. The season opener, not just for Baylor, but for the Big 12 and for all of college basketball. Baylor and Mississippi Valley State have the honor of opening the new college basketball season today.
J-Mo, we talk about Bridges playing for Huggins. Imagine playing for Huggins one year and then Scott Drew the next.
That would be an interesting conversation with Jalen Bridges, wouldn't it?
Man, that's like night and day. He probably walked in first day of practice and was shocked.
Nice drive to the bucket and layup that puts Baylor up 65-21. Well, the funny thing about it is, for Bob Huggins and Scott Drew, they're really pretty close. Seriously, I mean, you might think it's kind of the odd couple, and maybe in some ways it is, but those were the 2 guys, along with Commissioner Brett Yormark, that went to New York City. They did this media tour. Did you see that a couple of weeks ago?
I saw that.
And so think about that. It's Scott Drew, is Bob Huggins, and it's Brett Yormark tooling around New York City, promoting the Big 12. I think it's kind of funny, but there really is great respect among those 2 coaches.
2 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, Bob Huggins is there, and Scott Drew will be there. So Mississippi Valley player maybe took an inadvertent elbow and appears to be okay. Oreco Gibson. So we've had a couple of guys kind of go down to the floor here in the first couple of minutes of the second half. Here's how it happened.
Oh.
Flo just kind of trying to direct traffic out there, extends his right arm and inadvertently hit him. Gibson will go to the bench. Head coach George Ivory looks on. Scott Salmon's part of the crowd here in the Farrell Center today. It's a nice crowd, not just school kids, but folks wanting to get their first look at these Bears. So play continues. Baylor's ball leading 65-21. Cryer had his minutes limited with 3 fouls in the first half. L.J. Cryer drives, runner, left it short. Rebound, Mississippi Valley State. The run out, the pass up the floor. And a steal by Cryer. Tried to feed George. He saves it inbounds. Good job tight roping the sideline. 3, no good. Back down the floor, and Flagler is back defensively, but 2-on-1, and the lay-in bucket is good by Stredick. Makes it 65-23, Bears lead. King again, big lead, and we've got a long way to go here in the second half. But what are the best things Baylor can get out of a game like this?
Really, it's just working on your sets. Being able to go up against somebody new and not the same competition. So being able to not just work on your sets, but stay sharp the whole game. Because college basketball is a 40-minute game. You slip up against an opponent in the Big 12, slip up for about 5 minutes, all of a sudden you look up and you're down by 10. So in order to stay sharp, keep this lead 42, keep the lead and expand it. Do not let up, keep your foot on their necks, as they say. That is the key to the games like this. Being able to stay locked in and focused for a whole 40-minute game.
Bamba may get credit for a block there. Bridges definitely will. Starts to break the other way. George to Cryer. And the ball knocked away and stolen. Pass up the floor. Snowbirding at the other end. The bucket is good by Michael Barber. Lead is back to 40 for the Bears. Lothamba sitting at 7 rebounds on the day. And again, a long way to go in this game. His career high is 11. Jalen Bridges. Runner is good. Into the photographers he goes.
Not really one of Jalen Bridges' strong suits, putting the ball on the floor. He's more of a true definition of a 3-and-D. Stepping out, shooting the 3, being able to play defense. Putting the ball on the floor has been a question mark of his, but that's a great play right there.
Reverse layup attempt is no good. Looks like they're going to whistle Keontae George with the foul. That is 3 on the Baylor freshman guard. And we'll shoot free throws with 16:07 on the clock. Second half. Next action for the Bears, they will host Norfolk State coming up on Friday. King, you have other ESPN duties that night. And won't be here, but that is a rematch of the first-round game in the NCAA tournament last year, Baylor and Norfolk State.
Yeah, Norfolk State, I actually did the MEAC championship game last year when they went to the game that sent them to the NCAA tournament. That is a program who's used to winning. I mean, they win the MEAC year in, year out. They dominate the MEAC. They're used to winning. They probably feel quite a way about getting eliminated in the first round by Baylor, so they're going to come in here and be ready.
Comes up on Friday night. We'll have the broadcast on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Mississippi Valley State, they've got a nice week ahead. I'm not sure if they go home and then go to their next game, but they are headed to Hawaii, a tournament hosted by the University of Hawaii that begins on Friday. Nice little trip.
Yeah, that's a nice little trip right there.
Yes, it is. It's a good first week of the season.
Yeah.
Bears with numbers on the break. Cryer lays it up, but it rolls off. But a foul. Free throws for L.J. Cryer when we come back. 15:33 on the clock. Second half. Bears leading 67-26.
Helping those who help others. That's the mission of Charity Champions, a program designed to support nonprofits in Central Texas. Charity Champions started in 2014 to celebrate TFNB Your Bank for Life's 125th anniversary. Champions get a marketing awareness campaign, leadership training, and a team of interns at no charge to the organization. 7 years, 43 champions, and we are just getting started. Learn more at charitychampions.org.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive...
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi. 2022 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
Howdy, Chet Garner here, professional guide, searching for bears in the wild. But not just any bears, oh no, a particular kind. With hundreds of thousands roaming freely in the wild, yet still hard to spot unless you know the signs. There they are, Baylor bears. If you're a bear enthusiast or even a bear yourself, join me and let's find some bears in the wild.
Back with us inside the Farrell Center. Talked about the Baylor women with their season opener tonight. There's Coach Nikki Collin making part of the doubleheader today, enjoying the men's game. And then she and the Baylor women will open the season tonight against Lamar. 7 o'clock Central Time in the Farrell Center. We'll have it right here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
The GOAT, Nikki Collin. And I love her energy. I love the energy. Sometimes she'll bring the dog. She has like a super cute dog.
Sometimes, like all the time. Scout. Scout is in the office every day.
I love the dog. I love her energy. She would be a great coach to play for. I would love to play for somebody like that. Very personable, very relatable. I love the energy that she brings.
Kayla Bloner back on the floor. Asked Coach Collin about being picked 4th in the preseason poll, the Big 12 preseason poll. Let's see what this call is. Blocking foul on Dale Bonner. We'll take another look at it. Ask her about being picked 4th in the Big 12 in the preseason, a team that's won 12 straight Big 12 championships. And she says, yes, but I only have one of those. And she's right, which was last year.
That's very true.
And she says it shows the strength of the Big 12 this year.
Yeah.
Really, really up and down. Some outstanding programs. On the men's side, we know, but on the women's side, also in the Big 12.
For sure. I mean, just being able to, I do work for SiriusXM and Big 12 today. Just being able to really pay attention. I never really watched women's basketball like that, but COVID really got me into it. So now being able to watch certain teams in the Big 12 and being able to watch certain programs like Texas Evolve, Iowa State Evolve. I mean, the way Iowa State shoots the three, that's impressive.
Yeah.
The way they consistently knock it down from Trey and they hunt the threes like that, they're fun to watch.
So if Baylor's the 4th best team in the Big 12, it is a really good league.
Yeah.
And that's just the preseason prediction. Nice floater by Flagler for 2 and a foul. So we'll see their team, which has a new look. 5 returning players, but 8 newcomers to their roster this year.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be continuing that process of acclimating everyone together when they open tonight.
I love the patience right here by Adam Flagler. He's really a true definition of a 3-level scorer. He can get to the cup, he can shoot the 3 ball, but has a nice floater, a nice mid-range game. Very versatile offensive package.
15 on the day for Flagler in the season opener. Leader of 4 Baylor players in double-figure scoring. There's a turnover by Michael Barber. There's have it back. Caleb Lohner puts it in the hands of Flagler. He brings it across the midcourt stripe. Interesting to watch the rotations and the combinations that we see. Right now it's Cryer firing away. A little bit long. Cryer and Flagler and Bonner as the 3 guards. Flagler given a second shot at it. Knocks down the triple.
I think the constant theme that we have been seeing tonight is Baylor is going to the 3-guard lineup. Last year you saw Matthew Meyer play the 3 a little bit, but this year they're going to the 3-guard lineup and they're going to stick to it because they have elite guards. Good shot right there. But because of their depth in the backcourt, they're going to stick with this. Now the only problem with the 3-guard lineup is can they rebound consistently? When they play teams who are a little bit bigger, can they be able to block out and rebound the basketball will be a huge question.
Cryer firing a 3, no good. Thamba, the putback, won't fall. And fighting for the rebound. We got a whistle and a foul. the other end, Michael Barber hit a three-pointer. So Mississippi Valley State 3 of 10 from three-point range on the day.
When you play a team like Kansas, who will have Kevin McCullough, Grady Dick at the 2 and 3, both of those guys are about 6'8". Can Baylor box out? Can Baylor keep those guys off of the glass? Because we know that's one thing Kansas thrives himself on, being able to post up, being able to exploit mismatches. Will Baylor be able to match up size-wise? But also on the flip side, will Kansas be able to guard those guards on the perimeter with the bigger guys? So it works out both ways, but will Baylor be able to block out consistently is the real question.
Well, they have great depth at the guard position, as has been on display today. Really great depth overall, so it's going to be fun to see how that best works out, what the best combinations are. Drive, reverse layup is good by Danny Washington for Mississippi Valley State. 76-31 our score. Cryer, that's going to be a goaltend, so give him the bucket and a foul.
Yeah, there was no need to try to block that one. That had no chance of going in.
Cryer really slowed with the injured foot last year. Great to see him back. Gosh, it's just great to see these guys healthy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of the key things. You talked a little bit earlier about what do you work on in these type of games. I guess another thing that I forgot to mention is get out this game healthy.
Stamina, yeah.
That's the biggest thing. They said the best ability is availability. You have to be able to get out these games healthy and make sure nobody gets injured, because last year we saw the injury bug really hit Baylor hard.
Recco Gibson, the floater in the paint. Now he gets the steal. He took it away from Dale Bonner. .13-minute mark. Second half season opener. Caleb Lohner, the rebound for the Bears. Originally out of Flower Mound. Comes to Baylor from BYU. Bonner, the open three is good. Splashes it from the corner. They're sitting at 82 points with just under 13 minutes to play in this game. They had 61 at halftime.
Scoring the ball will not be a question for this Baylor team.
Foul on Lohner. Free throws coming for the Delta Devils. Ten consecutive years Bears have been in the postseason. Last couple of seasons, really the last three for the Bears. 55-9 over the last two seasons. It's the best record by a Power 5 team. And 81-13 over the last three seasons. The best by a Power 5 team, second best of any school in the nation except for Gonzaga. How about that three-year run? It's not just 3 years, but the last three have been spectacular for Scott Drew and the Bears.
Yeah, Coach Drew, the expectation is winning now. Nothing less. The expectation is winning.
Lohner, Cryer, Flagler go to the bench. Bridges, Langston Love, and Keontae George back on.
These are really crucial minutes right now. Dale Bonner at the one, being able to see him make reads, the comfortability, because it's one thing to do it in practice. It's another thing to do it in a game. I know a lot of guys who, when practice came on, they were great. The lights come on, they are the complete opposite. They aren't that guy. So the ability to be able to show that you can make plays and make reads right now in the game for Dale Bonner, getting him more comfortable in these type of games, will translate to when they start the Big 12 conference play and they play the better teams.
That was on the big man Daniel Umo from Lagos, Nigeria. That was his third. Bonner shooting free throws. Missed the second one. Bridges couldn't get the rebound. Thamba did. That's rebound number 10 on the day for Flo Thamba. He's one shy of his career high in rebounds. And more free throws coming. Flo going with the pink Nikes today. Knowing him, it's a well-thought-out decision. I bet it has some kind of meaning, don't you think?
Yeah, that's just how Flo is. Flo is very meticulous in everything he does in his life.
There we go.
I'm liking it. Breast cancer awareness, I'm here for it.
Extending into November.
Yeah, extending into November.
I like that.
I'm here for it.
Good shot by our crew.
Flo Thamba is one of those guys that kind of has that Perry Ellis effect.
Yeah.
You feel like he's been there forever. You're like, yeah, Flo Thamba's on the court. He's still at Baylor? I feel like Perry Ellis was there for at least 9 years.
That's funny.
Like, Perry Ellis was on the team at Kansas for a very long time. And Flo kind of gives you that same effect.
Other guys said that about Rico also. Yeah. Oh, he's still there? We're glad Flo is still here.
Man, I saw a crazy stat. The youngest guy who was draft eligible is, I want to say 19 years old, but they compared the youngest guy to the oldest guy who's draft eligible. The oldest guy in college basketball is 26 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
His birthday is 3 days after mine. He's
Really?
26 years old, and it's like I want to say like almost a 7 or 8 year age difference between the youngest guy and the oldest guy. Crazy stat.
Timeout on the floor taken by Mississippi Valley State. We're back to the Farrell Center after this. Well, we talked about the elementary school kids that are here. Baylor students are here, finding time in their schedule to be here for an 11 a.m. game. Always bringing the energy in the Farrell Center. You talk about energy, there's the energy maker right there. Jonathan Chumwa Chachua. King, I think his story is widely told. Really a horrific knee injury early last season or January of last season. But I tell you what, if anybody on this planet can come back from that type injury, it's that guy right there.
It's definitely him. I mean, you hate to see those type of injuries happen to anybody, but that guy right there, he's such an amazing human being. One of the nicest people you will ever meet. Literally a great person. But he's a fighter.
Yeah.
He's an absolute fighter, the way he plays, the passion he plays with, the motor that he plays with on a game-by-game basis is something special to watch. I always say having motors is thought of as a skill these days, which really shouldn't be, but having a motor is a skill, and he has that, he provides that, and he will be able to bounce back.
Shot clock violation by Mississippi Valley State. Our best wishes and prayers continue with Jonathan Chumwa-Chachua. Continues to work his way back from that injury. We got another timeout. We'll be right back to the Farrell Center in Waco after this.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early morning, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
It's big, it's back, and it's still $6. Get the big box y'all love today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Brace yourself!
From Disney, the Clayt family just crash landed into a very strange world.
No, Ethan! Are you okay? I'm talking to my son!
Disney's Strange World, rated PG.
From Holiday Hills, Illinois, to Rudolph, Wisconsin. From Santa Claus, Indiana, to Snowflake, Arizona. From Garland, Texas, to North Pole, New York, and everywhere in between. We're holiday ready with fast and reliable delivery, serving every address in America. The United States Postal Service.
Formula One cars are like aircraft but upside down. They're creating lift, but they're creating lift in the opposite sense. We're pushing the tyres into the ground.
The only bit that actually touches the ground are the tyres, so as much downforce as you can have is just key to going faster through those phases.
Aerodynamics is the prime performance differentiator on a Formula One car. So that's also why we dedicate a lot of resource, a lot of focus on aerodynamics.
That's the thing about claims, you see. They don't happen on your schedule. I mean, take a chestnut. It doesn't just say, oh, beg pardon, but it's now a good time for a jolly bit of window cracking. Near as I can tell, chestnuts don't talk.
Geico, your claims team is here for you 24/7.
Pacifico is brewed for those who follow their own path. That's living life anchors up.
Future Bears Day here in the Farrell Center. There's a ton of future Bears that are here. Our guests from elementary schools around Central Texas. Dale Wallace, our Mike Man game host, was reading off the names of some of the schools King during the timeout and getting a rousing scream and cheer when their school's name was called. So really, really fun and a great atmosphere. And basically the reason we're playing at 11 a.m. is to get those school kids to come here to the game.
Yeah, one thing about the kids, they will always bring the energy.
Back to play, Keontae George. Jumper, no good. 85-37 is our score. Still 11 and a half minutes to play in the game. Turnover, throw it away, bring it the other way. King, you were here not that long ago, but you did miss the days of the NIL. What are your thoughts as a recent grad, a guy with a great platform on ESPN now? What are your thoughts about the NIL?
So I feel like I have two sides of this. I think one side, oh my goodness. I think one side, as a former player, I'm salty because I did miss those days. I barely missed it by just a few years, so I'm very salty as a former player. My professional opinion is I think it is great for the sport because I think student athletes do so much for the game. They do so much for the university, and I feel like they should have the ability, as we look at this that should be an intentional foul, or flagrant. But I think it does so much for student athletes. They should have the ability to be able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness. I think this is long overdue. I think they should have done this a long time ago. I feel like this is great for the sport. Now, I do think some of these numbers that they're getting they're absolutely outrageous. I mean, I've heard millions of dollars from certain players driving Porsches. I mean, it's nice. I love it. But I'm just a little jealous as a player who was there not too long ago. A little salty.
That's understandable. It really is. I mean, you with your charisma, you know, and your fan appeal, you could have had some really good endorsements, I would think, during your time here.
Yeah, but I think I kind of ask myself all the time, you know, would that have taken away from my basketball, like my focus on the sport? Because for a guy like me, knew I had the heart condition, knew my chances of playing in the NBA would be slim. So would I have focused more on making the most money I could in college, as opposed to, you know, sometimes late at night you want to get those extra shots up, or during the day get the extra shots up. Would I have focused more of my attention on going to make money as opposed to getting those shots up? I really don't know, but I think it could have potentially maybe hurt me in the long run. Oh, good pass.
Nice alley-oop on the inbounds. Beautiful play. Josh Ojanwuna slams it home for two on the out of bounds. Well, I'm all for these guys, you know, making money off their name, image, and likeness, if that's what it is.
Yeah.
But there's no rules in place. There's no guardrails in place.
Now that's real. A lot of this has turned into, I'm just going to say it, a lot of this has turned into, instead of name, image, and likeness with companies, it's more so, all right, our boosters are going to give you this amount of money to come here. This is a great pass right here. Big Josh going up with the slam, showing his athleticism. I really like the upside of this young fella. I think he can really do a lot. He can switch. It's just going to take him time to really be able to get used to a college system, playing on a college court. But back to what we were talking about. It's been legalized, but there's still a lot of cheating in it. There's a lot of wrong in it. So I think there does need to be more rules in place, because some of this is just getting out of hand. It really is starting to come down to, okay, I'm gonna buy my whole team.
Right.
And a lot of coaches don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. You're buying your players. It's no longer, okay, I'm going to this school for the best fit for me and my game. It's who's going to give me the most money, who's going to offer me the biggest bag. And it is what it is, but there's a lot of wrong still in it. Will they ever be able to clean it up? I have no idea. I don't know. But it was intended for good. Oh.
Deontay George, that three at the other end. His first made three as a Baylor Bear. First of many, I'm going to say. So Deontay George now with 8 points in his Baylor debut. That cat can light it up.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you see a few 30-point games, potentially 40-point games. He gets extremely hot.
Langston Love leads the break to George. Lay it up and back-to-back baskets by the Baylor freshman. A 3-1 trip down, a layup on the feed from Langston Love the following trip. They're sitting at 93 points with 9 minutes to play. Steal by Bonner on the perimeter and a foul. Foul's going to be on Bonner on the steal attempt. About the day by Dale Bonner quietly. He's got a career high in scoring with 14. He's 5 of 6 from the floor. He's 3 of 4 from three-point range. He's got 3 rebounds and 4 assists. It's a nice day.
It's the confidence. When you talk to the coaching staff and they tell you who has made the biggest improvements this summer, it's been Dale Bonner. Because we knew he was talented coming in from D2. But it didn't translate last year because he was still getting used to it. The speed of the game was just a little too fast for him. But now everything is starting to slow down, and hearing him talk, he's got his swagger back, and he's ready for this year. He's ready to have a big year.
Langston Love, the blocked shot there. Beautiful shot, blocked it clean. Here's another look at it. From behind, clean block. Shot attempt by George Ivory III, the coach's son. The Bears on the inbound. Langston Love takes it away. Ahead to Bonner, who works. Nice dish in traffic, and it falls in. Josh Ojanwuna with another bucket.
Like even the play right there. I mean, we all knew he was athletic, Dale Bonner, but last year he wouldn't have made that play. But the ability to slow down, change his pace, and be able to find the open big, as we see Langston Love kind of sort of saw him a little hesitant right there with that finish. But Dale Bonner, his ability to just be able to slow the game down and make the right read has really improved.
There's absolutely controlling the boards. They come away there without any points. Shot off the mark. Caleb Lohner rebounds. Under 8 minutes to play. Baylor and Mississippi Valley State, season opener for both. Bears up 95-37. Deontay George. I guess that was a pass. Back in the hands of Bonner. Starts and stops. With 3 to shoot. George a 3, and he splashes it. Deontay George in his Baylor debut. He's now got 13 on the day. The Bears on a 16-0 run.
That's what Keontae can do. He turned a broken play into a 3. That play was going nowhere. That's where the lack of a point guard you really saw right there. But Keontae George is that good of a scorer to turn nothing into something.
That'll be a foul on Langston Love. Gets us to a timeout, the under 8-minute timeout. We'll step aside and be right back. Keontae George in his Baylor debut gets the Bears to 98 points on the afternoon.
Hey Peloton, step into your power. Let's go.
Ah, you didn't come to work out. You came to outwork. Let's get it.
Yo. Boom. Come on, you got this. Everyday man's on the
Hey,
block.
no challenge, no change.
The team goes. Let's go.
Now you can rent the Peloton Biker Bike Plus. Terms apply.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
It's big, it's back, and it's still $6. Get the big box y'all love today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
From Holiday Hills, Illinois, to Rudolph, Wisconsin. From Santa Claus, Indiana, to Snowflake, Arizona. From Garland, Texas, to North Pole, New York, and everywhere in between. We're holiday ready with fast and reliable delivery, serving every address in America. The United States Postal Service.
In a world where Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus join forces, action is a way of life. Drama is around every corner. And suspense is literally the name of a street. It's right next to Comedy Avenue. The Disney Bundle. Town. It's not a real place. It's 3 very real streaming services bundled together. Get it all with the Disney Bundle.
If you do what feels right, then own your style. Phillips One Blade. Your style made simple. There's always a way to make life better.
Some of the energy in the building, the youngsters on Future Bears Day here in the Farrell Center. Be fun. You know what would be fun is to see if these kids go back and do they write a report on their trip here, you know, or what I did when I went to the Farrell Center. I'd love to see some of those reports. That'd be fun.
That definitely would be fun.
free throws for Mississippi Valley State. Alvin Stredick at the line as play resumes. King Baylor sitting at 98 points, still 6:57 on the clock.
Yeah, like I said earlier, scoring will not be the problem with this team.
Caleb Lohner the rebound on the miss. Looking for 100 potentially this trip down. Cryer is back on. Zach Loveday is back on. But a turnover by the Bears. Only the 8th turnover of the day. And a bucket at the other end by Alvin Stredick. You know, a game like this, to have single-digit turnovers, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's really impressive. I mean, we talked about Baylor not having necessarily a quote-unquote true point guard, but to limit their turnovers single digits. But we have seen 2 turnovers back-to-back.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back. Let's don't talk about it anymore.
They have to stay locked in right now.
Steal by Collins on the perimeter. Can't get the bucket. Bears have it back. Flagler for 100. Not this time. Collins up the floor. Flying in for the left-hand layup is Danny Washington. Remember, the Bears led 61-21 at halftime. And for the most part, really kept their foot on the pedal here in the second half. Langston Love, he's going to get the Bears to the 100-point mark.
Langston Love can play. When Langston Love is right now the 5th guard for Baylor. If Langston Love is your 5th guard, you have some very talented guards.
Shot rolls in for Areco Gibson. Over Loveday. Loveday at the other end with the layup. 102 on the board for the Bears. 5:07 and counting. Nice feed underneath the bucket by Daniel Umo. 6'9" sophomore from Nigeria. When you hear Lagos, Nigeria, what do you think of? Former player.
From here?
No, not necessarily here. Maybe University of Houston.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah, you almost had me stumped right there. I was about to say,
not here.
I don't know about that one.
If Jim Haller was coaching Baylor at that time, and if he had had his way, he would have swayed Hakeem to come to Baylor. First year, U of H came in with Hakeem there.
Yeah.
He was traveling with the team, wasn't suited up. Haller, he walks in the Art of Texas Coliseum. Haller walks down and tries to get him to come sit on the Baylor bench. It was terrific. He stayed at U of H and had a great career there and an unbelievable Hall of Fame professional career. How about that move by Flagler?
Adam Flagler has a bag on the offensive end. He is a very great scorer, a really hard player to guard, speaking from experience.
Under 4 minutes to play in this game. Pass. Stolen away by Flagler. To Love for the layup for 2 for the Bears.
J-Mo, do you know who went to Mississippi Valley State? My dad had to educate me on this one.
Is it another sport?
Another sport?
Yeah, it would be Jerry Rice, right? That's kind of the namesake, I think, of the school. When you hear that school, that's the first person you think of.
Yeah, my dad told me, and I said, I don't know who went to Mississippi Valley State. And he was like, Jerry Rice. Oh, he said Jerry Rice, and I was honestly a little bit shocked.
That's it. Langston Love up after the collision. We've got a timeout. 3:14 to play. Bears lead Jerry Rice's alma mater, 110-47.
Kia, movement that inspires.
I used the wrong paint.
This Friday. Reserve your tickets now. Rated PG-13.
It's big, it's back, and it's still $6. Get the big box y'all love today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
From Holiday Hills, Illinois, to Rudolph, Wisconsin. From Santa Claus, Indiana, to Snowflake, Arizona. From Garland, Texas, to North Pole, New York, and everywhere in between. We're holiday ready with fast and reliable delivery, serving every address in America. The United States Postal Service.
If you do what feels right, then own your style. Phillips One Blade. Your style made simple. There's always a way to make life better.
We've been talking about this guy all night, and there's a reason why. Keontae George, not only is he scoring the ball, but facilitating. Had a great rate, 7 assists. I think this is a great first game in a Baylor uniform. Being able to take broken plays, make something out of nothing. But his ability to facilitate and pass the ball has been what's most impressive about this young man. And let's not forget the defense side, too. Stepping over, taking charges, on-ball defense. This young man is impressive.
Really impressive debut by George. Good-sized guy, 6'4", 185. Really a good-sized guard. And really, his all-around game is, to me, what's most impressive. You know, we knew he could score. We knew he could shoot. That last three that we showed you there, that was with 3 on the shot clock, and he knocked it down. But the defense, the assists, the rebounds to go along with it, really solid. There's another rebound for Keontae right there.
He also didn't try to force much. And that's the key thing. Normally when you see good scorers, they try to force it a little bit, but he never forces the issue. He takes what the defense gives to him and makes the right play.
George to Loveday. Loveday, the extra pass to Ojanwuna, leads to the foul. So here comes some more free throws. 2:59 to go. Bears sitting at 111 points. First 100-point game for the Bears since last year against Northwestern State. Won that one 104-68. How about this? 13 points by both Jalen Bridges and Keontae George. The most in a Baylor debut since L.J. Cryer had 17 against Louisiana in November of 2020. So really good debuts by both of them. And Ojanwuna kind of pulled his hand back so as not to get the goaltend. Mississippi Valley State at 49 points. Bears with 5 double-figure scoring. This time they had 6 players in double-figure scoring. Hard to do. They did that against Kansas State January of 2018. Winston Love showing his strength there. Rips that ball away and is foul. Foul charge to Michael Barber of Mississippi Valley State. That is the 5th foul on Barber. He is done for the day. What do you think? Their next game's at Hawaii on Friday. Do you go back to Itta Bena, Mississippi for a couple of days? I mean, it's Monday.
It's Monday.
You got class. They go back.
I mean, yeah, you have class. I think you probably leave Wednesday.
That's probably right.
Go back to Mississippi. Leave Wednesday. I know they're probably anxious to get there. I know I would be.
Yeah, you know.
I'd be ready to get to Hawaii instead of being in Mississippi.
Yeah, if this game was, say, Tuesday or Wednesday, they'd probably go straight there. Yeah. Itta Bena. You ever been to Itta Bena, Mississippi?
I've never been to Itta Bena, Mississippi. I've only been to Jackson.
Look at Jackson.
It's the only part of Mississippi I've ever been to. Jackson and where? Starkville?
Stark Vegas.
Wait, hold on. We played Ole Miss. Yeah, I've been. Where's Ole Miss at?
That's right.
Oxford.
Oxford, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Oxford. They have a great facility.
It's really nice.
That was
building.
top notch. That was probably one of the nicer facilities I played in college.
It was new, I think, when we played there.
Yeah.
Either first year or second year, so really, really nice.
It was probably a top 3 arena that I played in.
Speaking of which, there's a new one on more than the drawing boards here. The Paul and Alejandra Foster Pavilion is, man, there's steel out of the ground now. It is
really?
coming along. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that one.
It is coming along.
I can't wait for that one.
January of 2024 is the scheduled date to make the move from the Farrell Center to the new Foster Pavilion. It's right across I-35, right by the Clifton Robinson Tower. Sort of catty corner to McLean Stadium, and it's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be
crazy.
So
I've
nice.
actually never seen it.
Really?
I've probably driven by it a million times, but I've never seen it.
Well, up until the last couple of weeks, really, there wasn't anything to see. It was all groundwork, and now there's steel structures coming up. When you leave today, look over there.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Zach Loveday firing a 3. Shot is no good. Jake Youngkin is on for the Bears. 6'3" junior from Loveland, Ohio. Rebound, Langston Love. There's Dale Bonner. Back to Love for 3, and it's good.
I like what I'm seeing out of Langston Love. Just the confidence right now. Looking to get his shot up, and that's what he provides. He provides a scoring option off the bench.
Now 6 double-figure scores for the Bears today. That is hard to do. First time it's been done here at Baylor since January of 2018. Personal foul, more free throws with 1:07 on the clock. Baylor up 115-50. So again, I think, it's tough when you get a big lead like Baylor had, a 40-point lead at halftime.
Yeah.
It's tough to keep up, just the energy, the focus, all of that when you've got that big a lead. But for the most part, the Bears have done it here in the second half.
They've done a great job of staying focused, staying locked in. To take it from 40 to 60, that's impressive. A lot of times it goes from 40 to 30. You might go a little backwards because second half you aren't as locked in. You aren't playing with the same level of intensity. But they've done a great job being focused and keeping the same level of intensity for 40 minutes.
Yeah, biggest lead of the game was what we just saw, 65-point advantage. Now it's 64 in the final minute. Youngkin, he's got a shot at a 3. In and out, no good. His teammates were cheering for him. Gosh, John Wuna, another bucket on the putback.
I always say this, in a game like this, as a walk-on, you do no passing. You do not pass the ball.
Right.
You have one rule as a walk-on when you're up by 60, and that is to shoot the ball every single time. I remember Jackson Moffitt used to always do this. Would come in the game and would never shoot. If I don't play that much and I get my opportunity, oh, trust me, I am letting it fly. It is going up every single time it touches my hands.
Because what's the worst that can happen? Coaches are going to show it in film and say, hey, you should have passed this ball. That's not going to happen. Youngkin.
See, there we go. I like the attempt, though. I like it probably was a foul, but I like the attempt.
Delta Devils throw it away at the other end. Bears will have it back with 17.5 seconds to go. Putting the finishing touches on an outstanding season opening win for Baylor. 6 players in double figures scoring. Bears show why they're picked as the #1 team in the Big 12 today. 51% shooting. And Baylor wins it by a final of 117-53.